Today we are going to go over another mixed numbers problem. So Morgan wanted to make mashed potatoes. She bought a 4-pound bag of potatoes. 2/6 of the bag was rotten and had to be thrown out. She then bought another bag that weighed 2.5 pounds. How much mashed potatoes could she make? So, we need to figure out how much mashed potatoes she has now. So it says she started with a 4-pound bag, but 2/6 of the bag was rotten and had to be thrown out. Alright, so this is actually a good segue into the next unit that we're going to be doing, because it doesn't say 2/6 of a pound of potatoes was rotten. It says 2/6 of the bag had to be thrown out. So that is 2/6 of 4 pounds, which means I have to multiply 4, which is 4 over 1, times 2/6 to figure out exactly how much 2/6 of the bag is. So 4 times 2 equals 8. 1 times 6 equals 6. We're just multiplying across. That is how you multiply fractions, just straight across. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. You don't have to find common denominators or anything, and because of that, in some ways you could say that multiplying fractions is easier than adding or subtracting fractions, because there's no need for common denominators. It's just straight across. It's quite straightforward. So now we have 8/6, okay, which I know is 1, because 6/6 equals 1. So if I were to subtract 8 minus 6, I would have 2/6 left. So that is 1 and 2/6. And then it says this amount was thrown out. So we have to subtract 4 minus 1 and 2/6. Now 2/6 is actually just 1/3. So I could just probably best to reduce it to 1/3. And then I am going to borrow from the 4 and do 3 3/3, which is actually equal to 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 1, once again, is 2, so it is 2 and 2/3. And then it says she then bought another bag that weighed 2.5 pounds. How much mashed potatoes could she make? So that means that we have to add 2 2/3, which is what she had, plus the new bag, plus 2.5. So we have to change this. 3 and 2, the common denominator is 6. So this would be times 3 over 3, which would be 3/6. And then this would be times 2 over 2, which would be 4/6. So now we have 2 and 4/6 plus 2 and 3/6. So 3 plus 4 is 7/6. 2 plus 2 is 4, but this is not correct notation. So it would be 4 and 7/6. So I know that 6/6 equals to 1. So if I subtract 7 minus 6, I would be left with 1/6. So this would be 5 and 1/6. Now I'm imagining that this is misworded, thus these answers are not correct. But the way this is worded, it doesn't say 2/6 of a pound of potatoes was rotten and had to be thrown out. It says 2/6 of the bag was rotten and had to be thrown out, which means that the math I did was right. It's just that for what they were trying to ask, I believe, the questions are wrong. All right. So, yeah, so that is a little slight introduction into multiplication of fractions, and hopefully we will, and I'll be getting into that a little bit later.